我为这个是做了一个对比，四大皆空，就是四性有，无蕴非真，无蕴何以为真？
So today I would like to introduce an idea that the four elements are not empty but true existence, while the five skandhas, if existing in harmony, in a way are not real either.
我想新加坡的人，这个要求心灵的快乐，其中要有好多的人，一个人不快乐，甚至两个人一家还不够。 有小小快乐，要有整个的新加坡的人，甚至整个世界人，那个很快乐。
Therefore, I feel that happiness in Singapore should amongst not just in individuals, not just in single families, but in the entire society and nation, in order for there to be true happiness.
新加坡的人不要因为有钱就快乐，钱不能真快乐。你像有钱的老板。 在那个高楼上，他们也摸不到钱，都是那个支票数来数去的。反正我们小老百姓啊，买菜买萝卜买3块5块，我们还能摸到钱，他们摸不到钱啊。
So I hope that the people of Singapore please don't base your happiness on the money that you have. Even as CEOs. Every day you're busy signing checks and contracts. You never really touch your money. Unlike the regular citizens who can touch your money, hand them out in the market in small amounts.
我们要有道，要有佛法，在心中才能快乐。
What you need instead is what we call the way or the dharma in your mind in order for you to find true happiness.
什么是道呢？什么是法呢？大家都讲的就是佛法嘛。
And so what do we mean by the way? It actually means the Dharma, or the Buddha's teachings.
这个我最近讲到这个自己要创造活气。
But recently I've been mentioning and stressing the importance of bringing yourself happiness.
这个科学家生产现在的这个电脑啊、电器啊，我们生产欢喜。
While scientists create technology, as human beings we can create happiness.
心这王哎，这个人体的村庄，这个村庄这个王，他命人言而必须成为他佛。
Your mind is regarded as a king that lives in a family and in a village, and within this village, the king orders your eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body with what they should do.
我们这个心的工厂啊，要创造幸福、快乐、欢喜。
Therefore, we hope this mind will be there to create happiness and joy.
大家努力，大家
So
加油。
keep working hard on this.
我讲的太多了，对不起。
Sorry for speaking too much.
大家不会觉得大师讲的太多话。如果再希望大师讲的话，我们再鼓掌好不好？我想现在我们就老总有问题啊，老总。
还是有问题吧？还是可能有，
好不好？就给林总再问一个问题，
提一个问题啊。这个，不过首先我要感谢这个大师对新加坡媒体的夸奖。我对我个人来说，我觉得是愧不敢当，我觉得是大师过奖的。我们其实我相信很多这个在场的朋友也同意，我们其实做得还不好啊，就远远这个达不到理想，这个还有很多改进的地方。这个我们当然是在大师的鼓励鞭策之下，我们会尽量努力。那么，这个我刚才想去做郭教授对大师的问题，以及大师的开示，再进一步问。我记得大师曾经做一个关于这个如何达到幸福安乐的演讲。那您对于这个幸福安乐的真谛做了4个提点，就是淡泊知足、慈悲包容、 提放自如，无私无我。这4个要点看似简单，但是我觉得是很不容易做到的，就是很理想很高的境界。对我来说，至少对我来说，而且我相信跟我一样的，生活在现代社会，受到这个千丝万缕的非常错综复杂的人世间的利害关系牵扯的这些芸芸众生，这怎么达到这个淡泊知足？我觉得还可以，慈悲包容，但是要达到这个提放自如、无私无我，我觉得是非常困难。那么这个刚才大师提到钱必须看得开，但是我们觉得没有钱似乎不可以啊，钱生活要钱，这个住房子要钱，买车要钱，大车要钱。这个如何请大师开示一下，至少提点一下，指引一下，告诉我们如何达到其中一半的境界就可以了。这个理想就是这个。
没问题啊。林教授大概没看到那个戴奥斯那个文章，这个提出就是我们现在的这个类似一个戴奥斯论坛嘛，他在天津举办。明天都讲4个经济问题，尽力增加一个叫信仰的价值。
Some of you may be aware of the World Economic Forum that is called the Summer Davos that took place in Tianjin, China just a few months ago. Usually each year at the World Economic Forum they would only set up 4 sub-forums, but this year they set up 5, an extra one.
这天津你们知道，靠近北京，讲这个信仰的价值是很不容易的。
And Tianjin is about an hour away from Beijing, and it wasn't very easy for me to speak on the value of faith at the forum.
所以我到处提倡大家要，咱就不是完全讲我是佛，自己我是承认我是佛。
So that is why I go to many places to tell people to admit that I am a Buddha, as I've done last night.
我记得我是佛，我能做坏事吗？
Since I'm already a Buddha, how can a Buddha do something bad?
所以我在想，我们做人，刚才说自作可以常乐，人人可以自然，提防要自度。
And so as we have just mentioned that contentment brings happiness and endurance brings peace, and there's also the ability to pick up and let go when necessary.
我很倡导自己要做自己的贵人。
And I'm always asking people to be your own mentor, your own helper.
我们都想遇到贵人啊，要什么贵人帮忙嘛？其实能帮忙我们的就是我们自己。
We're always looking out for a mentor to lift us in life, but the greatest mentor that you can ever find is yourself.
你有礼貌，人家会欢喜；
For a person of good manner, you'll be welcomed.
你有勤劳，人家会欢喜；
For a person of great diligence, you will be welcomed and accepted.
你守信用负责，人家会欢喜；
As a credible man, you would also be accepted.
你慈悲喜舍，人家会欢喜。
So the display of a joyful and equal and generous character, you will be accepted everywhere.
你自己要尽全，人家你就是贵人嘛。
With a healthy and positive character, of course, you can be your own mentor.
提防自如是贵人。
And so it is right for you to think about when to pick up and when to let go.
有时候我们讲话叫人家一定要放下呀，他就说：“哦，这我们小就放假，难道不能积极一点吗？
So when Buddhists go around and tell people that you should let go, some people may retort and say, why do we always have to be so passive? Can't we also pick up?
要提起，就提起了。
So if you learn to pick up something, of course you can be more positive.
一个皮箱，你天天把它提到这里，提到那里，跟累赘啊。
If you go everywhere with your suitcase, of course it's going to become a burden.
你不用的时候就把它放下嘛。
You need to put it down when you don't need to use it.
有用的时候就提起来，
And pick it up when you need to use it.
这叫提放自如。
This is what we mean by picking up and letting go with perfect ease.
所以我是想，人，我倒不觉得世界上有什么万能，但是人是万能的。
And so we cannot really find any being more omnipotent than human beings.
像我们假如在做一个人，我做人大人小。
As a human being, I can be someone important. I can also be insignificant.
我能上台也能下台，
I can be in a high position or I can also take a low stance.
我能有能无，
I can own something or I can have
我
nothing.
能前能后，
I can stand in front or I can remain
我
in back.
能饱能无，
I can withdraw,
我
withstand
能多
hunger
能少，
or fullness. I can
能少
enjoy
能晚。
owning more, have nothing, waking up early or staying up late.
总有一句了，我无所不能啊。
There's nothing that I cannot do.
这就是自己就是贵人了嘛，这叫提放自如了嘛。
For being that omnipotent, then you can be your own mentor.
上头，那么继续。
谢谢。
好了，现在想把时间开放给各位信徒们，如果你们有什么问题想请星云大师开示的话，那个麦有吗？因为时间关系，我们尽量多让一些人发问哦，所以一个人问一个问题，好吗？
好。
那这位，
大师吉祥。
你要真会主持，你真会做主持人。谢谢。
大师不瞒你说，这是
我正想积极的要
人生40多年来第一次当主持人，当然就是
好，大师吉祥，林先生、各教授您好，还有各位师父、嘉宾们，大家好。大师等了3年，终于等到你来新加坡了。我这个问题也等了3年了。好，是这样子的，我觉得这个社会真的是自私自利、勾心斗角、人心险恶。而我自视为一个虔诚的佛教徒，我要跟随大师，真实跟随大师，秉持大师所提倡的3好运动，说好话、做好事、行好心。每天我都提醒自己要这么做，可是我发觉那我要做一个这样很好心肠的100%好心肠的人，我觉得我在这个社会上我会吃亏。然后我要怎么样保持一颗金刚心，让自己如如不动，不管这个社会如何险恶，不管这个社会是如何丑陋，我一样能够保持这个金刚心，继续是去奉行大师所提倡的3好，尝试做一个最好的一个人。好，谢谢大师。
关于我提倡的3好运动先做个说明。
Allow me an opportunity to elaborate on the 3 acts of goodness.
人有3个部分，做好做坏严重。
A human being is represented in 3 ways, and the goodness or the badness of these ways can determine the outcome of your life.
口是2块皮，好话坏话，它还自由说。
Through your speech, your lips mouth the words that can either be good or bad.
身体这个好事坏事认得住。
Through your body, it carries out actions that can be good or bad.
心里好念坏念的也让他想。
And mentally, your mind thinks bad and good thoughts.
我们古老的中国常常有一句话：你不要做一个，不要做那个。
There's a very ancient Chinese saying that tells us, do not create any transgressions.
什么造业就是口善业恶业，身体做的事情，好事坏事，善事或坏事，心里好念坏念都是一就是不会断的，会有结果的。
Do not cause bad karma. For example, when you think bad thoughts, when you say bad words, or when you do bad things, these could create bad karma. And karmas are linked one to another.
你们二位啊，得到真圣美奖了，就是得到三好奖。
For our two professors who have been awarded with the Media Award, in fact, it is an award for the 3 acts of goodness.
你说话说得很真，这个做事做得很善，存心，做得好念头，所以你三二位过去就是真圣美三好奖。
For example, if you speak truthful words, when you do virtuous deeds and you think beautiful thoughts, you are already practicing the 3 acts of goodness, and that is why you're worthy of the awards.
刚才这位律师说做善好行善好，会给人家启发。
And Our Lady here mentioned the risk of one who is being kind and good in these ways may be at a disadvantage.
如果我才有这个不动心这个境界，
And if you can actually reach that state of an unmoved mind,
学习吃苦，
you will need to first of all learn to take disadvantages.
吃亏就是福。
Because disadvantages, why? Because disadvantages are blessings in disguise.
学习忍耐，
Learn to endure all of these.
忍耐就是力量。
Endurance is strength.
有时候看见的是吃亏，最后会讨脾气。
Sometimes on the surface it may look like you're at a disadvantage, but in the reality you will be benefiting something.
看见的是忍耐，最后会胜利。
What looks like endurance will lead to victory in the end.
我在一生的修行当中，有过几次很大的忍耐。
Personally, I have to endure some extreme moments.
忍耐了之后啊，自己也很欢喜啊！我感恩能把那样的状况能忍下去，我增加了信心，至少10年了。
And after having endured all of these extreme circumstances, I felt that my personal cultivation has grown by 10 years immediately.
我出家虽然对了70多年，实际上我这个人的吃亏的增加的修行，可能有几百年会有的。
Although I've lived 70 years as a Buddhist monk, I feel that I've actually lived through hundreds of years in endurance.
只有我们正直，只有我们勇敢，只有我们进取，不怕吃苦，不怕忍耐。
For as long as we're upright and brave, courageous and healthy, we will not be afraid of what we've had to endure.
OK，
好的，还有哪一位信徒要发问？这位先。
大师慈悲，祝福大师法轮常转啊，稳住人间。我有个疑问，就是说，怎样才落实佛教 那个生活化，那菩萨人间化的这个精神理念。
刚才我对那位女士讲了一个问题，说我难得到新加坡来吗？我就这句话，3年，明年再来。
Raised by Our Lady over there. And it said that you have to wait 3 years. So I would like to say, next year I will come again.
我对于这个佛教啊，当然真的要把它学人讲佛教。
As you all know, I have been encouraging the world to practice humanistic Buddhism.
你要问什么叫做人讲佛教吗？
And so in a way you may be asking me, what is humanistic Buddhism?
就是佛教，
It
就
is
是佛，也不是对鬼说的，也不是对畜生说的，对人说的嘛，当然用人讲佛教啦。
So humanistic Buddhism itself is actually Buddhism alone. Why? Because the Buddha never taught the Dharma to ghosts or animals or other beings. He taught it to the human beings. So naturally humanistic Buddhism is Buddhism itself.
佛说的、人要的、圣美的、净化的，就叫人讲佛教。
Anything that was spoken by the Buddha that is necessary to human beings, that is virtuous and beautiful, and that is purified, can be regarded as a part of humanistic Buddhism.
过去的佛教呢，最大的错误啊，他把出家的佛教要在家的信徒都要接受。
One of the greatest downfalls of Buddhism from the past is that they have been demanding lay devotees to practice like the monastics.
夫妻两个要结婚，哎呀，不是冤家不聚头。
So when a couple gets married, some Buddhist master will say, "Oh, you must have been enemies in your past."
这是教训出家的呢，你人一张你出来家了。 还怎么跟人家谈情爱呢？真是不是冤家不聚头。
This saying was only applicable to monastics who needed to be reminded that they should stay away from love, but it's not to lay devotees.
哎呀，你那么好钱财啊，黄金是毒蛇耶。
Oh, some Buddhist monks will say, don't be too attached to money because money is like a poisonous snake.
哎呀，你怎么生了那么多的儿女小孩子？哎呀，都是讨债鬼呀！
Some masters will say, oh, the reason that you have so many children is because you have owned them something in your previous life, so they will come back as debt collectors.
你想一想看，我们做在家的，黄金是毒蛇，夫妻是冤家，这儿女是讨债鬼，那我们有什么东西呢？
So you may look around you, you look to your wife and husband as an enemy, and your money possession as a serpent, and then your children as your debt collectors. What do you have left?
说这个就叫不是人讲佛教。
So what they have been teaching is not humanistic.
人讲佛教是从山林要走上社会。
Humanistic Buddhism means a type of Buddhist practice that leaves the forest and enters society.
这个人讲佛教啊，是要从寺院呢走到家庭，
And humanistic
走进
Buddhism
家庭。
is the Dharma that goes from the temple into families.
所以人讲佛教啊，是从出家人要走到这个信徒大众。
And humanistic Buddhism is a Buddhism shared not only amongst monastics but also in the general public.
所以人讲佛教啊，是要从这个生活，从口谈呐，要重视生活，重视服务。
And humanistic Buddhism is something that goes from mystical discussions into pragmatic ideas to life.
过去的佛教，比如在路上才可能遇到了，喂，你到哪里去啊？
So in the past, when two Buddhists meet, they would say, "Where are you going?"
我去听经的呀。
I went to a Dharma talk.
哎呀，有法师讲经啊，讲得好好，
There was a monastic who talking. How was the talk?
好的不得了啊，好劲啊！
It was extremely well, wonderful.
怎么好法？
In what way?
听不懂啊！
I couldn't understand a thing.
我讲话呀，有人听得懂。
I always make sure that what I say is understandable.
我一生辛苦困难，就是我要给人听得懂。
I have worked extremely hard on making sure that my words are easily understood.
但听得懂不是最好，
But sometimes people may not regard it as the best Dharma.
这样的话可以的，都听得懂了。
Yeah, he was okay because I could understand everything he was saying.
马马虎虎了，都懂了。
So the talk would be so-so.
所以看起来是听不懂比较高。
So it seems like those hard to understand Dharma talks are better for you.
所以这个佛法呢，就不需要玄妙，需要回到我们人间，回到我们生活里面来。
Therefore, we must not make the Dharma mystical. Instead, we should make it a part of our daily life.
菩萨佛祖不是供在这里的，这样子是佛是菩萨。
The Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas are not just the statues you see in the shrines.
像昨天晚上唱的那个梵呗呀，这都是做苦手早晚苦，这个唱的。
And the Buddhist chantings which you have heard last night at the indoor stadium are the morning and evening chantings we do every day.
听人唱了给佛祖听了，佛祖也很讨厌。
If we chant this to the Buddha every day, I think the Buddha will get sick of us.
既然人人都是佛，何必要是光唱来给这个佛祖听嘛？给活的菩萨、活的佛祖给大家听，不是很好吗？
So since we are all Buddhas, instead of chanting this to the unmoving Buddha, we may as well chant this to the living and mobile Buddhas.
所以这个菩萨呢，不是供的。你们大家，假如你们懂得，我来跟你们走。各位在家的菩萨，各位男众菩萨，各位女众菩萨，各位青年菩萨，各位老菩萨啊。
Bodhisattvas are not just statues, okay? All of you can be bodhisattvas. That's why here we call you dear bodhisattvas, dear male and female bodhisattvas, dear young bodhisattvas, and dear old bodhisattvas, senior bodhisattvas.
你们会觉得奇怪，我们是凡夫啊，怎么可能下去走嘛？菩萨呢？
Some of you may be hesitant because you think, I'm only an ordinary human being. Why are you calling me a bodhisattva?
大学、研究院是做学生，
In the universities and institutes, we have students.
幼稚园的小朋友、幼儿园呢，也叫做学生。
And in kindergartens, we also have students.
当然，我们不比观音菩萨、地藏菩萨，我们至少做个初学菩萨嘛。
We may not be as advanced as Avalokitesvara or Siddhikapa Bodhisattva, but we can still be beginner bodhisattvas.
各位菩萨们，
Dear bodhisattvas,
各位活菩萨们，所以这个给他小度菩萨，我们拜佛、信佛、求佛、念佛。 都不重要，最重要的行佛。
that is why we should all learn to become bodhisattvas. When you pay respect, when you chant to Buddha, when you believe in Buddha or follow the Buddha, none of these are as important as practicing the Buddha's way yourself.
佛光山在这个地方，所有的来的人，都不是想要求富贵了，求什么，都要想要幸福，所以动力就强了。
If every visitor of Fogongsan, Singapore comes not to pray to the Buddha or not to ask the Buddha to fulfill a wish, but to practice the Buddha's way, then this will be a truly wonderful place.
OK。
大师吉祥。我这边2个问题。第一个问题就是，刚才听到大师说你明年要来，大家都很喜悦。那么刚才大师你讲到这个梵呗，像我们昨天在 Indoor Stadium 听的，除了给佛祖听，要给我们人听。我们佛光山的这个梵呗合唱团是很出名的，是不是有机会可能来我们新马为我们表演呢？如果大家很想看这么一场演出的话，这是第一个问题。那么第二个问题，刚才我们讲行佛，记得大师说过，我们人可以什么都没有，但是不能没有慈悲。我想让大师再跟我们大家再解说一下这个慈悲的深层的一个意义。谢谢大师。
第一个问题啊，明年来几月的教程啊，还有慈容法师，这个很多同志们知道，他2个人都看过，你们是吧？2个人。
Regarding your first question, come to Venerable Jue-Ten and Venerable Shirong, who are the leader of the choir, and they will give you an answer.
我在想啊，快了4月，慢10月、11月。
Either April or November, December, these could be a good choice.
你们2位 OK 吗？第2个问题啊，慈悲就是爱。
For your second question, compassion is also known as love.
爱别有误人，爱不纯净。
But usually love between us is tainted.
爱得很清净，爱得很高，很升华，就叫慈悲。
And pure and noble love becomes compassion.
慈是给你的快乐，叫做慈心，给你的快乐。
The Chinese word 慈悲 consists of 2 words. First of all, loving kindness. That means to give you happiness.
悲呢，是拔除你的痛苦，叫做悲。
And bei means compassion. That is to relieve you of your sufferings.
在这个佛教词典里面就有慈难于乐，悲难不可。
So in the Buddhist dictionaries, you will find these 2 words that tells you that loving kindness means to give happiness, and compassion means to relieve others from suffering.
对了，我鼓励人，宁可你什么东西都少了，你不能少了慈悲心。
You're right. I encourage people that you can have nothing, but you cannot do without compassion.
我想给你们在座的大众，你们就是有慈悲心，才可以走到佛祖的前面来啊。
And as for every one of you here tonight, you have been brought to the Buddha because of your compassion.
我常常感谢我的父母，他们很贫穷，他们都养不活我，身残难计啊！但是我还是感谢，为什么？他生下来我一个这个人有一点慈悲心。
I'm always very grateful to my parents. Although my parents are poor, they have given me nothing, but I'm very grateful that they have at least given me a compassionate heart.
我也常跟人讲啊，不要看我的字了，字不好了，心，这一点慈悲心可以给人看。
And so I will usually tell those people who look at my exhibitions, may you see beyond my writing and find my compassion.
再来一个好吗？再来一个来问。
I have time for one more question.
大师吉祥。我想谈的就是刚才林总和郭教授也有提到过，说我们现在的生活呢，随着物质的丰富，但是大家的快乐可能没有像物质这样越来越丰盛，或许更有一些人可能会受到一些，比如说忧郁症的困扰还是什么。那么在这样一个竞争压力的社会，我们怎么样能够常怀一颗喜乐心呢？请大师开示。
活着的快乐啊，是一时的，比较短暂，比较负面的。
Material comfort is only temporary.
内心要的快乐啊，不是光要活着的快乐不够。
And so in order to find happiness, you cannot depend on a very rich material life.
他要禅悦，禅就是禅定的喜悦。
What you need is the joy attained from what we call samadhi concentration.
这个是有3个王子，释迦牟尼佛的时代也出家做了比丘。
In the Buddha's time, there were 3 princes who also became Buddhist monks.
在一个山里洞里面修行，在那里后来快乐哦，快乐哦。
And they were cultivating inside a cave, and people could hear them saying, "I'm so happy, I'm so happy."
佛陀就在那里经过，你们讲快乐快乐，什么事要给你们快乐吧？
The Buddha heard them and asked them, "What is it that's giving you true happiness?"
那个八提王子，金毗罗王子，八提王子就说了：“这佛陀啊，但我们没有做比丘的事，在家的王宫都是王子嘛，太子嘛，但是我们不快乐，吃的只要美味，不要不想吃，穿的绫罗斗篷，这个。”还是不好看，现在出家了，人家给你好吃了，现在穿的衣服就这一件比丘的衣服嘛，好漂亮，好庄严啊，所以想到过去的物质不快乐，现在的这个佛法的生活快乐啊，快乐啊，不仅就活着就欢喜跳跃。就是讲这快乐吧，快乐吧。
So the princes replied, "Dear Buddha, when we were still princes inside the palace, although we were given the best delicacies, we could never really find these food truly delicious. When we had the most comfortable clothing, we did not feel like they are the truly beautiful clothing. But now as Buddhist monks, all the food that have been offered to us by the lay people are truly delicious and wonderful, and the robe that we wear are the true adornments. That is why we feel extremely happy now, so we couldn't help but yell out, I'm so happy, I'm so happy."
正面的快乐，你要问怎么样快乐？比方刚才讲了放假，放假快乐吧？
So if you want to know what true happiness is, for example, letting go will give you happiness.
忍耐能快乐啊。
Endurance will bring you happiness.
不过，我现在告诉你们一种理想的想法的快乐。
I would like to introduce you something that is quite on the contrary.
什么叫理想呢？就是你这个有什么想法，只有第一个，你对我错。
Let's try a reverse mentality. First of all, you are always right and I'm wrong.
我想你们不可这样想，你们都是我对，自己对，人家都是错的。
I don't think any of you would be willing to do this because you always want to be right and others are always wrong.
我对你错啊，这只有吵架，只有不快乐。
If you always want to be right and others are wrong, then there will always be fights and conflicts.
有一位张先生问李先生，他是奇怪了，我们家的都老是吵架，你们家的都好和谐，都不吵架，这个什么原因呢
？One day, Mr. Lee asked Mr. Zhang and says, "Why is it your family are always so happy and my family is always fighting?"
李先生说：“你们家的都是好人啊，所以要吵架；我们家的都是坏人啊，吵架。”
So Mr. Lee replied, "That is because everyone in your family wants to be the good person, but everyone in my family wants to be the bad person. That is why we never fight."
话怎么会这样说法呢？
What do you mean by this?
李先生就说：“举个例子，我们家的人这个茶杯为了这里，我把它碰了，打倒了，跌坏了。刚刚哎呀，对不起，我错了，那个茶杯给我打坏了，认错。”
So Mr. Lee said, "Let me give you an example. If in my house a cup gets broken, and whoever places the cup there will say, 'Oh, I'm sorry for having placed the cup there.' And the one who breaks the cup will say, 'Oh, I'm sorry for being so clumsy.' So if everyone's apologizing, everyone's a bad person, of course nobody will fight."
他认出来以后，另外对方也有一个人，哎呀，这个不怪你了，这怪我不应该放到那个地方啊，是我错了。
And so in the process, one of them would say, "Oh, don't feel bad for breaking the cup. It's my fault for placing the cup in the wrong place."
是我们讲的认错，就吵不起来嘛。
So if everyone's willing to apologize, then there will be no fights.
你们家里可不是这样哦。
But it's a bit different in your family.
茶杯砸坏了，他不管的，谁把茶杯放到这里啊？
In your family, when a cup is broken, you will yell, "Who put the cup here?"
我打坏不错啊，不是错，你放的人不应该啊。
So it's not my fault that I broke it. It's your fault for putting it there.
另外一个人说了，是我放的，谁叫你把它打坏我呢？
But the other person will say, "Yes, I put it there. Why are you so clumsy to break it?"
所以这个不认错，这是错过会吵架，吵架就是如果不够，不能要赢你嘛，就要凶一点，狠一点，讲到人狗的话，那就不必太夸张了。
So if you're always unwilling to apologize, you always want to be right, then there will be a lot of faults. But realizing that there's no need to argue and apologize, the outcome will be quite different.
战国时代有个国或者斗气，
During the warring states, there is a king who loved to watch cockfights.
而且找了一个很名老师来教斗气。
So he found a very good trainer for his chickens.
这个斗气的老师说要跟我讲，你不可以常常来看啊。
And so this trainer said to the king, "Your Majesty, you must not visit your animals often."
跟我等不起呀，就常常来看。
But the king was quite impatient, so he went over there almost every day.
看到他的那个勾结，好羡慕的跟人家的斗，真我的勾结好。
And when he saw that his cocks are always fighting fearlessly, he became very confident that he had the animals that will win.
斗鸡了说，这个是最脆弱，不堪一击。
But the trainer said, no, these are actually the weakest ones.
又过了一个时间来看啊，他是很雄壮，但没有跟人斗。
After a while, the king returned and to see that the cocks no longer fight so fearlessly.
国王说：“现在成功了吗？”
So the king asked, are they ready now?
老说没有成功。
Not yet.
又过了好几个月，再来看，
A few more months later, the king returned again.
他那个鸡动都不动。
And the cock just stood there, not moving at all.
没有跟他斗的人跑到他的面前
And when the other animals try to invoke it, provoke it, it just didn't move.
老师说：“现在我训练好，你带回去吧。”
So the trainer said, yes, your animal is ready.
真正的勇敢的人，不好斗，不打话，不骂人。
So the truly courageous ones do not argue and they do not fight. They do not retort.
真正勇敢的、慈悲的人，这很难放下的。
The truly courageous and compassionate ones are always the ones who are at ease.
为什么为一件事情、为一句话，你就那么的不吃饭、睡不着，活不来啊？
Why would you lose sleep and appetite over something I say? It's truly not worth it.
你大我小，
So remember, you're great and I'm small.
你对我错，
You're right and I'm wrong.
你有我，
You can have and I won't.
你乐我苦，
You can have the joy and I will suffer.
看起来好像都顶到了，这理想的做法不快乐。
These ideas may be quite reversed from what you learn, but they are the true ways of practice.
这个，再讲一个故事给你们听。
Let me tell you another story.
有一个卖布的人到这个布店上买布，布多少钱一册？
Once there was a man who went to a fabric shop and says, how much are the fabrics?
老板说3块钱一册。
So the owner said it's $3 per yard.
我们8册布。
Okay, give me 8 yards.
布包好以后，他写了24块钱，3个24嘛。
After the shopkeeper wrapped up the fabric and says, here you go, sir, it's $24 because 3 by 8 is 24.
这个买布的人说，对老板讲，老板你乱讲，323块，怎么说24块呢？
And the customer said, no, you're wrong. 3 times 8 is 23, not 24.
老板就很奇怪，3个24哪一个人都知道啊？怎么说3个23呢？
And the owner got quite angry because everybody knows that 3 times 8 is 24, not 23.
2个人这个争着吵架，一个23，一个24。
So the argument began.
颜回孔子的弟子坐在这经过，吵什么？23的事。这个买布的人，我也不要闹啊，3个24吧，给人家了啊。
And then Yan Hui, one of the Confucius students, passed by, heard the story and said to the shopper, stop messing around, 3 times 8 is 24, pay up.
要你读过现实，3个23，怎么会是24呢？
The shopper said, who are you?
你是谁呀？
Who do you think you are? 3 times 8 is 23.
我是孔子的弟子安徽，不能不知道320吗？
I'm the pupil of the famous Confucius master, so how can I not know 3 times 8 is 24?
好的是孔子的弟子安徽啊。好，我跟你打赌，就问你的老师，究竟是323还是324？
So, okay, your teacher is the famous Confucius. Let's go to him and ask him to give us an answer.
我老师是圣人，不懂得323吗？
Yan Hui said, I'm quite sure that my master is very a sage who would know the right answer.
不读什么嘛？要读什么嘛？
So what's the point of doing the bet?
但是如果你的老师说324，我投给。
He said, if your master tells us that 3 times 8 is 24, you can have my head.
假如你的老师说323，你输了，你什么给我呢？
But what if your master says the answer is 23? What are you going to give me?
安徽想这么一点小事，赌个头。
Yan Hui thought that it's not worth it to bet your life on a piece of fabric.
我的帽子输给你好了。
So I said, if I lose, you can have my hat.
来问孔子了，324。
The two of them went to Confucius and asked for an answer.
孔子想了一下，安徽啊，你输了，帽子给人家。
And Confucius thought for a while and said, Yan Hui, you have lost. Give him your hat.
安徽一听，哎呦，听公鸡的一声呀，老师啊，上面明明是你怎么都不知道呢？
Suddenly, Yan Hui's world collapsed into pieces. Because, Master, how can you not know that 3 times 8 is 24?
不过他一生都没有反对过老师。
And as he has been an obedient pupil all his life,
老师说什么他都相信。
so he followed his master's instructions.
可是这一天饭吃不下去，觉睡不着，实在忍不下去了。
But after that, he couldn't eat or sleep. He just couldn't tolerate it.
再跑进来问老师啊，300究竟是20还是23？
And so in the end, he went back to his teacher and said, is 3 times 8 actually 24 or 23?
孔子说：“他安徽啊，头重要啊，帽子重要啊。”
And then Confucius replied, tell me, which one is more important, your hat or his head?
为了这么一句莫名其妙的，叫他个数个头，不来啊！
So Confucius knew that it was not worth it for somebody to lose a life over such a trivial matter.
所以这个世界啊，犯无定法，
So in this world, every dharma can be otherwise.
好的坏的要从另外好多角度去看它。
When before you decide right or wrong, you have to look at it from many different angles.
方便是智慧啊！
So to be skillful is a type of wisdom.
OK， 好了吧？没有再讲了。
好了啊。
讲到什么时候？
我们好不好多最后一道问题好吗？大师好吗？最后一道啊，最后一道问题。
大师好，大师祝大师身体健康。但是我这个华语不是很好，我用英文讲麻烦老师帮我翻译。Yeah, I just have a quick question. I've been thinking about religion quite a little bit sometimes, and I feel that all the religions, Buddhism, Muslim, Christianity, whatever Orthodox religions you have, essentially they are all the same thing. they're all the same religion because all of us, every human being, come to this world in one way, and we all live this world in the same way as well. So everybody should be subject to the same thing. But I just feel that every religion, whether it's Buddhism or Islam or Muslim, they're all actually the same manifestation of the different manifestations of the same thing. So I wanted to know what does Da Shi think about this. Thank you.
他的问题是，他一直在思考自己应该信仰什么样的宗教，但是后来发现，不管是基督教徒、天主教徒或是回教徒，其实都是一样的，大家都一样要生到这个世间，最后一定要离开这个世间。所以我想请教大师，对于这些宗教信仰，其实都是一样的，您有什么看法？
我说出我自己的74年的做和尚，我对宗教的体验，这是我的体验。
Even if I was to share with you my spiritual experience as a Buddhist monk for 74 years, it would still be my personal experiences.
所有的神明，总要信神，神明都是人创造的，神没有造人，人创造了神。
Technically, whatever God or figures you believe in these religious beliefs, they are created by the human mind. It's the humans who created these gods, not the gods who created humans.
我跟你吵架，闹到派出所。那个警察询我帮忙你，不帮我。
Say you and I get involved in a quarrel and we go to the police station and the police takes your side instead of mine.
没关系，我去拜土地公，请土地公帮我主持公道。
So if I lose the case, it's okay. I can go to the God of lands to protect me and help me.
我们到法院里面去，过去信太医。先当20大板再说。
In ancient China, when you go to the government official, they would usually give you a punishment to begin with.
找新太医难得过，我就找城隍爷，我拜城隍好了。
So if the government official isn't giving me the right answer, it's okay. I can go to the God of justice.
我要读书拜文堂之君。
If I want to do well in my studies, I go to the God of intelligence.
我要结婚了，找这个月下老人。
And if I want to have a good marriage, I go to the God of love.
我生孩子找祖神娘娘。
And if I want to have a baby, I go to the God of babies.
我要发财了，找财神爷。
If I want to be wealthy, I go to the God of money.
所以，为了我的需要，就创造人家好多的生命。
So whatever it is I need to demand, I create a God who will answer my demand.
释迦牟尼佛是人，不是神。
Sakyamuni Buddha was a human being, not a God.
神是讲究权威的，上善法好，佛没有这种，他不会上恶法好。
A God is a sign of authority. He punishes and rewards. But Sakyamuni Buddha does not do that.
所以我在想，耶稣了、穆罕默德了、孔老夫子了、释迦牟尼了、观世音了，实在说都是我们的心。
So I would say whether it is Jesus, whether it is Buddha, whether it is Confucius, or any other figures, they are all creations of our minds.
就好像我的心要土地公。要城隍爷，要文章帝君，要那个王爷，要那个娘娘，这么一个意思。
This is similar to when I need my answers for love, for land, for protection, or for intelligence to be answered. I go to these respected gods.
我讲话的意思，这宇宙所有万有，它只有一个东西，就是我们的一颗心。
What I'm trying to say is, whatever it is that you see in this universe, it all comes from one thing, the human mind.
三界为心，万法为身。
The three realms are created by our mind, while all phenomena in this world are a result of our consciousness.
佛说一切法，为治一切心。
The Buddha had taught all kinds of dharmas in order to cure all kinds of hearts.
若一切心，何用一切法呢？
If there were never such hearts, what is the use of all of these dharmas?
所以你讲的话呀，宗教都是一样的。我的意思，宗教都一样的，都是我们的心。
So yes, you are right in a way. All religions are the same because they are all our hearts.
你们各位都知道，在台湾，我们有个红旗主教沈高兴和我们40年的朋友。
As some of you may know, I have been very good friends with the Cardinal Paul Shan of Taiwan. We have been friends for 40 years.
他3个月才过世的，去世了，蒙主重造了。
But the Cardinal had passed away a few months ago. He went back to God.
他们听主教的主张，并让追悼集会的时候，也找我讲话。
But I was also invited to his memorial service.
我说沈国熙主教，他是何不人呢？
And so during my speech at the service, I said the Cardinal was no ordinary human being.
黄河的水孕育他成长，听主教的书记主教。
This Cardinal was nurtured by the Yellow River.
我呢，江苏人。
And as for myself, I'm from Jiangsu.
扬子江的水呀、黄河的水运用生疏体，扬子江的水运用我成长做一个好人。
The Cardinal was nurtured by the Yellow River, while as for me, a Buddhist monk, I was nourished by the Yangtze River.
我说书记啊，你来生再做总主教，我来生再做和尚，我们共同为世界人类服务。
I once said to this Cardinal, Dear Cardinal, in your next life, please come back as a priest again, and as for me, I'll come back as a Buddhist monk again. Together, we can work to benefit the world.
这就是我的宗教观。
So this is my view on religion.
谢谢大家，谢谢佛院里。
谢谢大师的开示，也谢谢郭建宇教授、李总。今天我们就今天的讲座就到此结束感谢大家的那个。
让我们再次以热烈的掌声感谢星云大师慈悲开示。
这场座谈台上台下互动热烈，大师鼓励大家实行3好，就是要学习吃亏，因为吃亏就是福。 学习忍耐，因为忍耐就是力量。最后，大师许下了2013年还要再与新马信徒相会的约定。